private tracker is an invite-only website that specializes in the peer-to-peer file sharing of specific content, although general content does exist on some. You've probably heard of torrent websites like the Pirate Bay or Cat. Maybe you've downloaded from there, or maybe you haven't. But this video exists to give you things you need to join private trackers. The thing about private trackers is that they often have better content, users, and staff, and rules are plentiful and strictly enforced, so everyone is in check. If you've never been a part of a private tracker, ever, you're going to need a few things. A torrent client, preferably an older version of uTorrent, Views is banned on many trackers, an account on Reddit, or an invitation form, and some patience. Reddit/r/trackers community is by far the best for asking questions, but make sure you've read up on the bare necessities of torrent websites first. I'll explain them briefly. Ratio is your amount uploaded by your amount downloaded. You should keep your ratio to solid 1.0, never lower, although keeping a higher ratio is recommended. Being connectable means that you have chosen to port in your BitTorrent client and you've forwarded it correctly, or you're connectable to the server. Basically, there are many guides on how to port forward. I will not explain this. Hit and runs are when you have not uploaded as much as you've downloaded per torrent, or when you don't see the torrent after downloading. A seed box is a VPS of torrent software, like RuTorrent or Deluge. I recommend getting one of these if your home connection is not fast. Getting started, there are many ways to get invited to a private tracker. If you have friends that are in one, this is the best method, by the way, they may give you an invite, depending on how much they trust you. There's also invitation forms, but giving away invites in public is not allowed on some trackers, or most. If you're going to use these, by the way, make sure the username on invitation forms is not the same as your username you're signing up with on these websites. Also, be very sure that you clear your cookies and cache. They can view the last sites you've been on. As well, keep this in mind. If you're going to break the rules at all, make sure you understand the consequences. I do not encourage breaking the rules. In fact, only join an invitation form if you're desperate. So this r/invites is the only legitimate one. I don't know. You can also use websites like http://opentrackers.org to check for openings in some trackers. Make sure that they are good though. You have to use the trackers you sign up on. Once you've got into a tracker, there are some things you need to do. You cannot download everything you need, especially when you're new. You need to build ratio. A good way to do this is by using free leech packs. These are torrents that usually contain a collection of random content. They allow you to build up ratio as it starts a cycle of people racing to be the first downloaders and uploaders. If you are one of the first 30, or some number, you should be able to upload larger amounts than the people who join later. Keep these packs close. They will be a good friend. Another way to increase ratio is by downloading new torrents. Make sure you're wise though, meaning the torrents are not too large, have at least one seeder, and using your judgment, decide if they could be popular later. Larger trackers, like Torrent Leech and IP torrents, are perfect for this. Also make sure that you use your account, and occasionally participate in the community. If you get well known, there may be an opening into other trackers. If you've been doing good, and you've made it onto several trackers, or at least a few, congratulations. You are now accustomed to the world of private trackers. There will be more adventures to come, and soon, if you've been doing really well, you can probably get on what.cd, and if you become a power user there, you can get on to pretty much any tracker you want. Hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.